The warning came wrapped in light, a transmission that burned across every human screen at once. The Galactic Empire's emblem glowed above a cold, alien face. You have trespassed into Imperial space. Surrender your fleets, or your world will be erased. Admiral Reeves watched in silence aboard the carrier Vigilant Dawn. Around him, officers shifted uneasily. Some whispered that humanity wasn't ready for this kind of war. But Reeves just smiled. They think we scare easy, he muttered. The bridge lights flickered red as the message ended. For a long moment, the room was quiet except for the hum of engines and the soft heartbeat of sensors tracking distant stars. Reeves turned to his crew. Transmit our reply. A young comms officer hesitated. Sir, what should I say? Reeves leaned forward, his eyes calm, sharp as steel. Laugh. Confused silence followed, then chuckles, then full laughter rolled across the bridge. Their laughter echoed through the ship's comm system, spilling into open space, carried by quantum relays across the fleet. Billions of light-years away, alien commanders stared at their screens in disbelief as human laughter filled the void. That was the first answer humanity gave. No speeches, no threats, just laughter. The Empire didn't know it yet, but it had just awakened something ancient. Something forged in the fire of survival, in every battle, every storm, every impossible war humanity had ever faced. And now it was coming for them. Reeves looked out at the stars, his voice quiet but steady. They want fear, he said. Let's show them humanity instead. Outside, engines ignited. The human fleet moved as one, cutting through the endless dark, toward war. The Imperial War Council watched the humans laugh on a loop. The sound was raw, messy, uncontrolled. It made the room feel smaller. This is mockery, one admiral hissed, his scales tightening along his neck. They do not understand the gravity of our warning. High Strategos Vakur folded all four of his arms behind his back. His eyes stayed fixed on the frozen image of Admiral Reeves on the hollow. The human looked relaxed, almost bored. Or, Vakur said slowly, they understand it far too well. Silence dropped over the chamber. The Empire had crushed 100 worlds with that same message. Most species begged for mercy within minutes. Some tried to negotiate. None had laughed. A junior analyst cleared her throat. High Strategos, our records on humans are incomplete. Their wars burned their own planet many times. They seem to value defiance even when defeat is certain. Primitive pride, another admiral scoffed. We will burn it out of them. Vakur did not answer. He watched the human faces, officers leaning toward one another, grinning, exchanging small comments as if this were a joke between friends. There was something dangerous in that ease. On the Vigilant Dawn, Reeves studied the incoming sensor data. Imperial scout ships were massing at the edge of the Sol corridor. Talk to me, he said. Lieutenant Maya Ortiz zoomed in on the tactical map. They're probing our defenses, sir. Keeping their main fleet hidden behind jamming fields. Classic intimidation pattern. Reeves nodded. Good. Let them think it's working. Maya glanced at him. And if it is working, sir? He smiled without humor. Then we make sure they never realize it. Around them, the crew moved with quiet focus, checking weapons, rerouting power, sharing quick jokes to hide the small tremors in their hands. In the dark between stars, two minds prepared for the same war, one with fear and one with something sharper. The human fleet gathered at the edge of Sol like a metal storm holding its breath. Carriers, cruisers, escorts, each ship humming with power, hulls painted with old scars and new upgrades. On the Vigilant Dawn, Admiral Reeves walked the main observation deck. Below the transparent floor, Earth glowed blue and fragile. He paused for a second, letting the sight steady him. Maya stepped up beside him. You ever get used to it, sir? Knowing this is what we're defending. Reeves shook his head. The day I get used to it, I retire. She gave a small smile, then handed him a data slate. Latest civilian transmission logs. People are watching us, all over the world. He scrolled through the messages. Short clips, grainy videos, text bursts. children in school uniforms shouting, "Go get M!" An old mechanic in a greasy jumpsuit raising a wrench like a toast. A hospital ward where patients clapped weakly at a screen showing the fleet. None of them looked afraid. Not exactly. They looked stubborn, determined. "Patch some of this to the crew channels," Reeves said softly. "But don't make it an order. Let them choose." Across the ship, screens lit up. Some crew members watched with shining eyes. Others turned the feed off, needing silence instead. Nobody was judged. In the war room, tactical officers refined a plan that looked like a bad joke on paper. A smaller fleet against a massive empire. Use their confidence against them. Let them underestimate human range. Hide key ships in blind spots they did not know existed. "Sir, Imperial Vanguard is entering the outer perimeter," Maya reported. "Estimated main fleet arrival in 1 hour." Reeves took his seat, palms flat on the armrests. His heart beat a little faster now, but his voice stayed steady. "Good," he said. "Let's welcome our guests. Remember, no speeches, just results." Out in the dark, the first enemy ships slipped into human space. The quiet before fire was over. The first explosion bloomed like a sunrise over Neptune's orbit. For a heartbeat, space itself seemed to shudder. "Contact confirmed," Maya shouted. Enemy forward scouts neutralized. Multiple kills, 0 losses. The bridge of the Vigilant Dawn erupted in cheers that ended as fast as they began. Reeves raised a hand. "Don't celebrate too soon. That was the easy part." The tactical screen showed dozens of red markers blinking into view. The Imperial fleet had arrived, sleek, curved ships glowing with alien plasma, moving in perfect formation. It was like watching a wave prepare to swallow a coastline. Reeves leaned over the railing, voice calm. "They'll expect us to retreat behind Mars' orbit. Let's do the opposite." The navigator turned, startled. "Sir, you mean advance?" "Exactly. Punch through their flank before they settle in. Confuse their command chain." Orders flew. Engines roared to life. The human fleet surged forward, weaving through asteroids and debris fields, their thrusters flashing like lightning. The Empire's admirals hesitated for seconds. Seconds too long. Maya's console flared red. "Incoming salvos. Deploy flares. Brace for impact." Reeves barked. The first wave hit, shaking the deck. Shields flickered, lights dimmed, and sparks rained from overhead cables. But the ships held. "Return fire," Reeves ordered quietly. "Target the ships coordinating their formation." The fleet responded like muscle memory. Kinetic slugs ripped through vacuum, guided by old human stubbornness and new precision. On the Imperial flagship, chaos erupted as their formation crumbled. They couldn't understand how these primitive humans fought so unpredictably. Back on the Vigilant Dawn, Reeves watched the feed with a grim smile. "They still think we're playing by their rules," he said. Outside, the stars lit up with war. The laughter was gone now, but something fiercer had taken its place. The third wave hit harder. On the Vigilant Dawn, half the bridge shook as if some giant hand had grabbed the ship and tried to tear it in two. Consoles flickered. Someone cried out. Smoke curled from an overloaded panel. "Report," Reeves shouted. "Portside shielding at 30%. Maya called back, coughing through the haze. "We've lost 2 escorts near Saturn's orbit. No response on their channels." The words felt heavier than they sounded. 2 ships meant thousands of people. Faces from mess halls, training sims, late-night card games. Gone. For a moment, Reeves felt the weight press down on him. He saw Earth again through the observation deck, the children, the old mechanic, the hospital ward. All of them had trusted him. Trusted them. He closed his eyes just for a second. Breathed in. Breathed out. "We stay with the plan," he said quietly. On the Imperial flagship, Vakur watched human losses scroll across his display. "They advance even as they break," he muttered. "Why won't they fall back?" "Because they are desperate," an admiral replied. "They have nowhere to run." Vakur wasn't convinced. The humans were bleeding, yes, but they were bleeding in specific places. leading the Imperial fleet on a path that felt almost guided. Back in human space, the fleet shifted, forming a wide, ragged arc around Saturn. To the Empire, it looked like a broken line, a desperate defense. "Are the platforms ready?" Reeves asked. A tech at the back, pale but steady, nodded. "Old orbital stations are live, sir. Power levels are unstable, but they'll hold long enough." Decades-old defense platforms, half-forgotten relics from wars humanity had nearly lost against itself, now hummed inside Saturn's shadow. Their cold guns turned outward, not inward this time. Maya swallowed. "If this fails..." Reeves didn't look at her. His eyes stayed on the tactical display. "Then history never hears why," he said. "Only that we tried." Out beyond the rings, the Imperial fleet pushed forward, unaware it was sailing into a graveyard that no longer slept. The trap sprang the moment the Imperial fleet crossed Saturn's shadow. Old human platforms, marked with faded flags and forgotten numbers, woke like ghosts. Their cannons spat silent fire, rail slugs, beams, missiles. They didn't need to be perfect. They just needed to hit everything at once. On the vigilant dawn, the tactical map exploded with light. Multiple enemy hull breaches. Maya shouted. Command ships crippled. Imperial cruisers spun off course, colliding with each other. Shields failed in chunks. Reeves watched, jaw tight. "Target engines, not cores," he said. "We're not here to erase a species, just their arrogance." Human shots swung low, shearing drives, ripping weapon spines. One by one, Imperial warships went dark, drifting like stunned beasts. On the Imperial flagship, smoke filled the command deck. Vakur clung to a railing as alarms howled. "How?" Someone choked. "They are centuries behind us. This is impossible." Vakur remembered the human laughter. "They have spent their history fighting themselves," he said. "They turned ruin into a weapon." A human transmission cut into their channel. No emblem, just Reeves. Tired eyes, soot on his face. "This is Admiral Reeves of Earth. Your fleet is disabled. Stand down. We will not fire on helpless ships." Vakur stared at the screen. "You mocked us, yet you show restraint?" Reeves almost smiled. "We laughed because fear is an old habit we're done with," he said. "But we don't need you dead to prove who we are." At last, Vakur bowed his head. "Then today, human, the Empire learns." On the vigilant dawn, the crew sagged in their seats, the rush of battle draining away. Maya glanced at Reeves. "Think they'll ever understand us, sir?" He watched the dim stars of the outer system. "Maybe," he said, "but they'll never forget the day their empire tried to frighten us." He exhaled. "And our answer was laughter."